All right, so we're gonna go over half kneeling, all right, thoracic rotation with a lateral bend. Okay, so we're gonna be in half kneeling position, hips underneath, the ribs are down. This is gonna allow us to lock in those hips, so when we rotate, we're rotating through that thoracic spine. Once we're locked in, ribs are down, hips are under, hands go behind the head, and we're going to rotate on an exhale, so when we breathe out, as far as we can, another breath, and then we're going to laterally flex as far as we can. And we should feel this lat stretch, all right? And then we'll come back to the center. So it'll be exhale, and then laterally flex. Good, you want to perform 3 to 5 reps on each side. This next movement drill for thoracic rotation, okay, is going to be a lumbar lock, which is that low back, locking it in by taking the butt to the heels, forearms to the ground, and then we're going to get some internal rotation to that shoulder. We're going to keep the opposite forearm on the ground, heels on the ground. We're going to try and keep our hips square, and we're going to exhale and rotate up and look over that shoulder as far as we can. Get as far as we can with a slight pause, and then we're going to bring that down. Remember, we always want to try and move on the exhale, and we want anywhere from 5 to 10 reps, depending on how that feels, and we want to do that on each side. All right, so this next stretch is to stretch the pecs, which can assist with our thoracic rotation. So we're going to sit on a long foam roller. All right, we're going to lay down on it so our head is comfortable, our spine is right in the center. We're going to get the ribs down, the hips underneath, arms are up, and we're just going to let those arms relax to the side, right? The hands are going to want to drift down. We want to make sure those hands stay high up towards the shoulders, and we're just going to slowly try and let those elbows relax towards the floor. Try and relax on that exhale, let them fall further. All right, and the goal here is to hold for 30 plus seconds, closer to a minute to even 2 minutes if that's a really tight stretch. And that'll help loosen up through those pecs to help with some good thoracic rotation. The next movement drill we're going to go over is a lumbar lock for thoracic rotation, and we're going to do external rotation through that shoulder. So hips are on the heels, leaning forward, that's locking that lumbar, that low back in place. Forearms on the ground, and this time we're going to take the hand and we're going to externally rotate it behind the head, and we are going to use thoracic rotation to look up and then come back down. Good. Remember, we always want to try and move on the exhale. We want to move slow and controlled, and we want to do anywhere from 5 to 10 reps on each side, depending on how that feels for you. So the next stretch, again, for the thoracic rotation is going to be another pec stretch. We're just going to take those arms up to 90 degrees, bend those elbows at 90. I'm going to let the arms fall apart this way while laying on that foam roller. So here we go. We're going to lay down. Again, head on, spine on. This time we're going to bring the hands up at 90 degrees at the elbow to the hands, keeping the elbows up by the shoulders, and we're going to open those and let those fall apart, trying to keep those ribs down. And then trying to relax on that exhale, trying to let those shoulders fall towards the floor along with the hands. And again, on this stretch, we want to hold it at least 30 seconds. Upwards of a minute to a minute and a half are probably ideal. All right, so here's another great stretch to help with thoracic rotation. All right, so if you have a PVC pipe, a long golf club, a broom handle, whatever you have, what we're going to do is essentially get into an athletic position or a golf stance. We're going to reach this arm across. This arm's going to be here for support, and we're going to reach as far as we can. And then as we do, we're going to get into more of an athletic stance or a golf stance, and we're going to feel that lat stretch a little bit more. So how it looks from the side We're across, we're reaching across without too much rotation yet. This hand comes down to support, and then we get into a bit of a hinge, and you're gonna feel this lat really light up and engage, okay? So from the other position, hands across, we're reaching, hands here for support, and then I get into my athletic stance. And you'll see as I get into my athletic stance, I start to get a little bit of rotation. That's great, we're gonna get that lat stretching, and we're going to get that thoracic rotation that we're looking for. So with that stretch, you can either hold that stretch once you find a good position, and we can hold for 30 seconds to a minute and a half, or if we would like, we can get in and out of that position smoothly for anywhere from 5 to 10 repetitions on each side.